Hey guys, do you know someone considering renting their property as an Airbnb? I have worked with Rental Advisor for over a decade, and Rental Advisor provides free rental projections to prospective owners, realtors, and investors for any property in the US. So if you know someone considering getting into the vacation rental industry, have them email management@myrentaladvisor.com to get their free revenue projections. Okay, so real quick, would you go to slide number 9 on that slideshow? I wanna get your thoughts on this because it plays into this whole thing, right? And the first premise that I want to have here is that people are only morally responsible for the choices that they make, right? If you don't make a choice, like you're not responsible for it because you didn't make the choice. But now let's get rid of agency altogether.
Yeah.
So we don't make choices.
Yeah.
In other words, you don't even make the choice that you like. The person who is racist didn't choose that, right?
Right.
Somebody who's
Totally.
like, if you were born in their circumstances or in their, whatever, you'd be racist, right?
Yeah. If I was born into a family where I had the predisposition to be a serial killer and my dad was absent from the home and my mom abused me, I might turn into a serial killer with no choice of my own.
So how can we have a coherent discussion about moral responsibility
Yeah.
if you're not morally responsible for any of your choices because you ultimately don't make choices?
So I had an interview with a geneticist about 5 years ago or so, and we were talking about the LGBT issue. And I got done with the interview and I said, "Hey, I'm not sure I'm going to include this in the conversation or not, but I want to talk to you about it." I said, apologists are often throwing out this slippery slope that if we allow men to marry men and have sex and women to marry women and have sex, that we're going to eventually as a society create a slippery slope where child predators get to have sex with children and people who have an inclinations towards bestiality get to have sex with animals, for instance. And I said, I don't want to promote these kinds of arguments because I think it's a horrible argument in terms of rationale because consent is a big deal. And again, subjective, right? Consent's
But
a big deal.
how can a
Hold
person
on, hold
consent
on.
if they don't have
Let me,
choice?
I know,
Sorry.
I know,
Sorry.
totally. We use terms, you're right. We use terms in ways that doesn't actually reflect what's really going on, but it's the best we have in the language that we use. We all act as though we have agency, even if some of us understand that that agency is extremely limited or non-existent. So when I talked to this geneticist, I said, I want to ask you about serial killers and child predators. And she goes, Bill, you don't want to include this in the conversation because as a geneticist, it is demonstrable that it is genetic or epigenetic. Genetic meaning that it's passed from, semen and egg. Epigenetic meaning something else is going on in the womb, at least, that contributes to chemical reactions that now has that person having this predisposition. She said child predators aren't choosing to do that. They are predisposed genetically to doing such. Now we can go like, man, I wish there was a God and I wish that things were choices and I wish there was agency. But if there isn't agency, there just is an agency and we have to deal with that. And again, the science says at best, your agency is nothing like what Mormonism taught you. By the way, it also changed on that. We used to have free agency. You're old enough, I think, to have grown up in a Mormonism, because I certainly did, where we had free agency. And now we have moral agency, which is defined very different. And so I'm saying, once again, Mormonism shows that it thinks it has a right to determine what's right and wrong, but it seems unable to discern such.
See, but I'm going further and almost deconstructing all of this now. So I'm going, okay, so a person doesn't choose to be sexually attracted to children. Can they choose whether or not to actually have sex with children?
Yes and no. So pick
but
whatever
it's not yes or no. It's either yes or no.
It is yes or no, because some people
you either can make a choice to do something or you can't, and you were determined by it.
You are determined by it.
So do you enjoy the content here on Thoughtful Faith? If so, be sure to hit the notification bell. This ensures that our new videos show up on your feed. Also, be sure to check out our Facebook group called Thoughtful Saints, where myself and others discuss the sorts of topics found on this channel. And lastly, if you think other people would benefit from this video, please be sure to share it.